Okay.
yeah, because it has to be shared to the others. So, what we discussed yesterday with some of the leaders at AFAS is that we want to talk a bit. Okay, there will be a short introduction. Then we want to learn a little bit from country for us. What are the lessons during the past year? Then we will discuss about the. We want also to know a bit more about your strategic plan if you have a strategic plan, and we will discuss about the plan for year 2021. So these are the agenda points, and we'll try to cover this in 1 or 1.5 hour maximum. Is that okay? Do you have some additional points?
Mm. In my side, it's better because I think it starts from a previous one. I think so. So concerning that, it is good because of uh, some issues. It's a good issue.
Okay, so Samsung, any any comment? This is what was proposed as a standard agenda yesterday, but I don't know if there is something
Proceed.
else.
Let's proceed. Let's proceed as you planned. Since
Okay,
you had meeting with other CFs yesterday, so please
mm,
guide us how to proceed.
okay. Yeah, so the first point is on yeah, some introduction and maybe some guidelines from the Secretariat. Unfortunately, Kate is not here for now. She must be in her audit committee again. But what is the status of Ethiopia in terms of accountability and reporting? Have you finalized all your reports and accounts for 2020? Have you submitted it? Is it has it been cleared by the FAS Secretariat? Maybe that is the first question that I should ask.
Mm. Okay, thank you. Maybe it's for me. I think so.
Yes, yes, please.
Uh, it's we are doing somehow because of it's not all in all, but uh, we are submitting a technical report of 2020. We
Mm-hmm.
are left with some financial causes because of financial sectors, and this week we are ready to maybe we are discussing with financial sectors to provide any evidential causes and prepare evidential causes. Some
Mm-hmm.
mm, peoples are out of work, maybe they on their home, we cannot join.
Mm-hmm.
So we will try to complete a financial session. Uh, in my case, technical sections are being completed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just important to stress on this that we can't move to the next financial year 2021 unless you clear the 2020. So it's important that we try to finalize that the soonest because we want to start new activities, and unless we finalize our reports and the accounting for the previous year, we can't move to the next one. So I'll really
Yes, it is.
encourage you to finalize that. I know that it's very difficult in this context of COVID. As you
Mm.
said, you all have to work from home and so on, but maybe you can ask your financial people and so on to at least prepare documents, send by mail, and then you scan, you sign and scan and send back, or if you are you know how to use the PDF and signature with PDF, because it's also a possibility. We can do that also. This is how at the Madagascar Forum, and they are doing, because the people are in different, very different areas. So the document is circulated through mail, and then signature is added uh, using a PDF writer. Um, there are some tools like Nitro, PDF Writer, or Adobe Writer who can help in doing that. But
Okay.
in general, is the all the activities finished? Have you, I mean, have you completed all the planned activities for the year 2020?
Uh, it's not all completed because of as you know, um, due to some causes which happened in our financial sectors, and we uh, some 30% of the budget has been delayed to us. This is
Mm,
what we are not complaining for you uh, because of not finalizing it, maybe.
mhm.
Due to that causes and the COVID problem, some activities are uh, delayed, and we are now requesting no cost extension before. That no cost extension also ended with May, I mean in March. So
Yeah.
in March, that no cost extension also ended, and we are on the process of requesting additional cost extension for some activities. We are doing with our chairman this week maybe. Uh,
Mhm.
we are preparing to request, and the chairman has to approve. After approved, we are requesting this no cost extension this week at the end of this week. So
Mhm.
we have to complete with that, and this is somehow with the challenge to resisting challenges. This is what we
Mhm.
are today.
So uh, you haven't even consumed the 70%, eh? Or you haven't just received the 30% until now.
Yeah, 70% also already completed. It's no
Okay.
amount completed. We are left with, if possible, with 30%.
Okay. Hmm.
Yes.
That's very, very late then, eh? Because as you said, the no cost extension has already expired end of March, and you have been. So the main reason. Let's come to the second point: lessons learned from the previous year. So let's have a very open discussion and very open mindset about it. What are the lessons learned from at ADPLAC uh, regarding last year's exercise? You can say
Uh,
whatever you want. Don't hesitate. Just say, okay, this is what we learned. This is what we couldn't understand. This is what has to be improved, and so on. But we want to know what you learned from last past year.
yeah, thank you. Uh, we are indicating in our report at
Mhm.
previous and also now, somehow we are what we are learned and what we are lesson gained from a previous year. It's
Yeah.
put it already in our reports, in the previous and the now report. So to tell you on what we are writing is, as you know, many things are challenged concerning technologies consumption in our country and Africa, as you know, and also capacity of our capacity also limited to this activity doing as well in a good manner, and also the disease or a pandemic COVID also our challenges here.
Hmm.
Uh, internet access also went out in our even in offices also with how it is not comfortable. This is a
Hmm.
noun things or a noun challenges which we face at no our capacity also
Mm.
a limited one for this doing and also communicating with others to learn lessons and to get some other additional knowledges. It's also on capacity also limited, including our expertise.
Hmm.
So what we got a lesson from these challenges is that by resisting this all, including COVID and including these all, we are performing somehow things to going up on and to do something and to motivating some things. We are doing this also by challenge by resisting this is also lessons we got from this year. Somehow we are getting a knowledge from you also. You people are our references to go to this one. A good recommendation from you. This communicating way also are good lessons for us to previous to motivate to work this. This also what we getting from the last is Andre, I think so.
Okay. Um, yeah, maybe two things that I picked from what you just uh, listed is the technological issue
Yeah,
and the capacity.
yeah.
These two,
Internet also, internet and technological is
internet.
including internet access.
Yeah.
We have not access because
Hmm.
if we not no access for this, I have some recommendation for others. It's thank you.
So, how is the extension activities happening at grassroots actually in Ethiopia? Are there some are the extension workers continuing their work in the fields with the farmers, or how is extension continuing? Do you have an idea of that? Do you have some information about that?
Yes, because I'm also extension workers in extension department, and starting from previous years, I'm working in extension. And extension, our extension, as you know, it's public extension system, and have extension workers at a grassroots level that working with community and extension beneficiaries around, as we put in our report previous, around 69,000 extension workers, which we call it development agents, as there. They are working with previous with extension beneficiaries at grassroots levels. So the higher SMS, which is subject matter specialists, are supporting them. They
Hmm.
are at district level, and we are working at that hierarchy as structured now.
Yeah, my question is, you are saying that you have challenge in your in the forum, to gather, to meet, and if it has to be done through technology, that sometimes internet is not there and so on. But
Uh,
that is at the forum, I would say the forum level, if we can call it like that.
uh,
But at grassroots, how is extension progressing? Is the I remember when I was in Addis for the extension week there, we visited those communities where um, they gather in one room, and they show videos and using these smart video projectors. And these were big gatherings, and because there were 30, 40 people in the same room. Is it happening like that now in the field, or how has extension progressed in Ethiopia given the situation, the COVID situation?
okay.
Let me, let me intervene here. No,
Okay.
I think the situation in Ethiopia, like other African countries, is challenged by COVID.
Yes.
Every time the government is releasing the COVID protocols to be followed in terms of gathering for different meetings and workshops. So the same is true, especially in the main towns. The gathering is not more than 50% if you follow the, the COVID protocols. And also, I think with limited space, with limited physical distancing, and also following the precaution measures. So the same is true for at the farmers level. Extension workers, they are also expected to follow those protocols. If they are gathering the farmers, they have to follow the COVID protocols, keeping social distancing and also limiting the numbers. Otherwise, still extension is ongoing, and it's not as such interrupted. I mean, the extension workers, they are providing the services. The gathering still is happening, but with all those the COVID protocols. And these COVID protocols, especially the situation in Ethiopia currently is, I mean, the rate is very increasing, and there are some restrictions in terms of number of people to be gathered. So otherwise, the extension service is still, it's not totally banned, and the extension workers, they are also providing the extension service. The thing is, in rural areas, I mean, the situation is not as such very worse like compared to main towns.
Mhm. Or sometimes also we don't know what's happening there because it's in the rural area.
Yes, no, I mean, yes, in fact, as you said, the medical facilities are, again, are a challenge. People are not as such, I mean, testing for COVID and so on. That's why still all extension workers, they have to observe all those COVID protocols. And I think most of the time they will be also communicating using their phone, and also using like radio. Also, Ministry of Agriculture is also working closely with Farm Radio International in reaching extension workers. So I think, and also, as you are also aware, the Ministry of Agriculture also distributed tablet for extension
Tablet.
workers for reporting, and also to communicate, I mean, some updates, and also to receive some notification and message and contents. So I think it's also is moving, and Walam is also is in a better position also to explain. Ministry of Agriculture working closely with Digital Green through the support from BMGF. They are also helping extension towards digitalizing the extension system. They are in the process of developing platform for content generation, content dissemination. I think Andwalem, he's aware. Again, maybe in terms of lesson also, uh, ADPLAC has got some challenge with the host institution. I think that is partly the delay in terms of submitting financial accountabilities and financial reports. Unfortunately, it used to be very flexible and the procedures were very flexible and user friendly at the research. When Tadesha was mentioning the financial institution, he was referring the host institution, which is the research institute, the Ethiopian Institute of Agriculture Research. Still, those are under the one ministry. EIR is autonomous and they have their own financial procedures. The accountant, I mean the finance director also. We had last, I think 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with the director of finance and also the accountant, and also currently they have also assigned one person from the host institution to facilitate, especially submitting requests and so on. Because of some procedures, there was a challenge. I think now that has been sorted and hope things will be moving slowly, without any problem. Unfortunately, I don't know the host, the Lam, the focal, not the focal person. I think the person who is going to facilitate this
In
financial report
AIR side.
from the host institution
Yeah.
was supposed to attend, I think, this meeting to learn what is happening and also some issues. Again, that is one. And also, in addition, a lot has been done through partnership with other partners like PARM, the IFAD supported PARM platform for culture risk management, with the National Agriculture Research Council, and also with the Digital Green, with Farm Radio International. I think, unfortunately, again, Amsaru has left in the middle of implementation. Now, Amsaru is on board, and I think some of the activities, some of the updates will be reported in the next quarterly report. I think that's what I just want to add. Thank you.
Okay. So
Hello, Andre.
actually, yeah, just a second, Angolam. So
Okay.
actually, then ADPLAC is hosted by EAR, eh? And so there is a MOU between ADPLAC, or ADPLAC is not legally kind of constituted entity.
I think they know, Andre, the situation here is not like other countries.
Mhm.
ADIPLAC is under the Ministry of Agriculture, more specifically under the Directorate of Extension. Again,
Yes.
this is again still under discussion. Again, 2 weeks ago, we had the national policy dialogue, and this is also one of the issues that was raised, and they are still under discussion. I mean, what should be the future direction of ADPLAN? But as it is now currently, it's under the Ministry of Agriculture, and currently, for AFAS activities, I mean, the Ethiopian Institute of Agriculture Research is a host for ADPLAC since Ethiopian Institute of Agriculture Research is secretary for ADPLAC. With that
Mhm.
arrangement, especially for ease of financial flexibility and administration, the money has been, the MOU has been signed between the EIR, AFAS, and ADPLAC. That is the current arrangement. Maybe one thing which I missed in terms of updates, as Tadeza said, Ethiopia has received 70% of the direct support. And as Tadessa reported, I think they have utilized, but unfortunately, I don't know, maybe Kate, she's now with us. Maybe she'll tell us whether she has received all those documents or not. Uh, I remember Nabiyu was forwarding all those documents, whether it's for kids or for that focal person, which I mentioned. And from the innovation grants, again, ADPLAC has received 70%. And I think the agreement will be ending end of May. Still, they have time. And I think one activity has been already conducted during the national policy
Policy
dialogue.
conference.
And again, the next event is going to take place after 2 weeks at the regional level. And I hope they will be moving as planned. If not, they will be requesting no cost extension again for the innovation sub grant. Again, for the direct sub grants, they requested the first no cost extension, and they are in the process of again submitting no cost extension at the end of June to finalize and to conclude 2020 activity. Thank you.
I think Anduarem wanted to say something.
Yeah, Andre, just to update something about digitalizing agriculture advisory service. Just I'm joining the Ministry of Agriculture this month as a secretary by Digital Green. As a country, just to tackle this COVID, we are. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear.
Okay. Just to tackle this pandemic, as a country, we are working in different technologies like IVR. We are using IVR just to broadcast the seasonal information. And also we are starting developing different e-learning courses with CDSF also. We are also the Ministry of Agriculture distributing more than 35,000 tablets for DAs just to collect information, capacitate themselves by using the learning management system and by accessing e-learning courses. We are also starting working together with different organizations because all of the organizations are try to find solutions by themselves. There is some duplication efforts on the same product. So we are starting by develop the committee, the technical committee, and gathering different stakeholders, which companies works on what technology. So now we are starting develop the stakeholder mapping. So we are also provide different digital communication tools training for Ministry of Agriculture staffs and regional staffs to make the working environment is enabling to work in different locations because now there is some problems to gather in one rooms and have meeting and training. So to tackle such problems, we are working on digitalizing agriculture advisory service. So in Ethiopia, I think there is some progresses, but in my understanding, it is not enough just to distribute and develop applications, but it needs some technical trainings. So we are now planning to cascade such type of the digital communication tool training and e-learning course development trainings for the subject matter specialists. Thank you, Andre.
Yeah, that is very clear. And that is an answer to the technological and the capacity issue that was raised by mentioned by Adese. I think that what is missing from what I listen here is what is missing that side is you need to communicate a bit more inside the forum, have continuous maybe meeting so that everyone is at the same level of information,
Mm.
um, and especially also try to, well, the government is doing, as Andrew was saying, the government is doing this, the government is doing this, but
Mm.
how is AFAS funding contributing to that? End of the year, we want to know, okay, this small amount from AFAS has contributed to do this exactly in the area of a climate smart agriculture, for instance, and this is one area that you work in knowledge management or in advocacy and so on. So we you don't need to reinvent what the government or the private sector are already doing. You
Mhm.
just need to work in synergy and maybe take one area, one zone or district or one group of stakeholders or some specific targets and work with those one and draw lessons from that. We don't need here to reinvent something. You have to fit in the
Mhm.
national strategy. So, but you want also to value the resource that is provided by AFAS and also to give back to AFAS. So what you give back to AFAS is the lessons, the technologies, the know-how, and so on that we share with AFAS stakeholders and network. You are talking about doing inventory of uh, of extension
Technology.
workers,
Mm.
or yeah, I think that's what you mentioned. Many countries today are thinking of the same, to have a kind of census of extension workers in their country. So how are you doing it in Ethiopia? Can you share such information so that others know? I know UFAS is doing the same, Nigeria
Mm.
is doing the same, Kenya is doing the same, but why not put more synergy so that we have maybe the same structure of database, have the same procedures that can be um, just valued from different places. So this is how I see. Well, I fully understand some of the issues, some of the problems that Adese mentioned, the technological, the capacity, and so on. But
And Jobat is not.
there is also a lot of potential from what Ndualen is saying, and I think we have to put these things together and and
Yeah,
value whatever happens there, so that
yeah.
it
My
benefits
idea is,
not only your country fora but also the whole AFAS network.
yeah.
Yes, Ndualen?
My idea is just uh, to overview the status of Minister of Agriculture, what we are now working. Just as an AFAS, we can find here on which area to contribute, yeah, to strengthen the agricultural advisory service. For instance, when MOU distribute the 35 more than 35,000 tablets, we can plan here to capacitate the DS technical parts by providing different trainings. So I'm here present just to know to inform you the status of MOU. All right.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can move to the next part of this discussion. Kate is still there. Do you have something to say? In fact, Tadesse already explained the financial situation. I think even Samsung also repeated the same thing, but
Andrea, be loud. Be loud.
yeah, does Kate have some recommendations regarding the financial situation and the progress of the country for 2020?
Yeah, good morning, members. Yeah, on the issue of the accountability, I can say that I haven't got anything from Ethiopia. The first time they sent a report, it was sent without the supporting documents, and even the format was not right. So I wrote to, it's called Nebone, and I sent him the formats, which is supposed to follow plus the supporting documents. And he received the mail, but he has not yet said that. Then recently he sent a one-pager, which was in that Ethiopian language. Is it
Mari.
Amharic.
Yes, but this grant between Uganda, between AFAS and Ethiopia, it either has to be reported in English or French, because that language we cannot put it in the Google to know exactly what somebody is meaning. So it was one pager. So I failed to know whether that one pager it had a heading which was only in English, which was saying impressed. So I was wondering whether they were accounting for the innovation grant which they had recently got, because if it is a direct grant, it's supposed to be in the format which was provided to Ethiopia. And I requested him to have a Zoom with him so that we can see how to go about it. Because all those receipts needs explanation to know exactly what happened. We cannot put in the Google to translate. So it became hard from this side. That's what I can say, that Ethiopia to date, nothing like accountability. And even the extension which was requested up to February, it was not used because they never reported. I don't know whether the expenditure was done. So most likely they are planning to request for another extension. But they have a lot to do in the side of accountability.
I'm checking my email on April 5. Never you forwarded like 49 documents. Haven't you received that?
On what?
On April 5.
They were sent documents which were sent without a report. And we were wondering, these documents are for what? Are they for innovation grant? Are they for what? And they were in the language we couldn't understand.
Yeah, I think when you need some explanation, I'm also available to do the explanation. If you need any explanation, I think if most of the documents are in Amharic, but I guess there are also some documents which are written in English. So I think for that email, if you just respond what you need, that would be helpful for him. Because when I asked him, he said, I forwarded all the documents. Now, when I search this email, I'm just seeing it just right now on 5th of April. So,
you know, what happened is Samson, you know, the first time he sent a report, I responded and I gave him all the reports we need to accompany the report with together with supporting documents. Then, after keeping quiet for some time, because that was in December, on 17th March, I wrote another email that this is a follow-up on the financial report. I just wanted to know whether you received the email. Then he got the acknowledgement. That
yeah.
was,
Okay.
I have
Then
also
Tadesse,
some question on a
wait, Tadesse,
document.
let her finish first. I think because she's
so
checking
when
her email.
when he responded that he received after following up in March, most likely when we send in April, that one April it was already in a no-go zone area, because 15th I was preparing the IFAD report for the year, and now we are in the audit. But when I opened, I saw a documents without an Excel report. So I've not yet responded to that one. But
Yes, he thought that you have received the report and maybe you requested him supporting documents. I think that is my understanding, because repeatedly Tadesse and we have been asking him, we have been following him, and he
now what
said
I'm
that,
going to do, let me respond to that report, because even the first report he sent, it was not filled. Most of the sheets were blank. So I requested him that all the sheets have to be filled for the report to be complete. So he cannot send supporting documents with a complete report. He has to update both things, the report and also the documentation. But let me do my part and respond to him, and I will send the financial report.
Exactly. So whenever you need any translation, I'm available to do that.
I say, yeah, because I was going to request you to put the English narration to all those documents so that we can know exactly what they mean.
But I think there are some documents which are already written in English. So I think, let me know which documents.
But the issue is, if like he had filled the transaction list, the transaction list can help you to know what the explanation, the description on the receipt.
Exactly. No, I fully agree with
because
that.
the transaction list was not there, it was very hard to even to review those documents.
I fully agree with that. Just request him to send you the transaction request. Then once you receive that, those documents which you can handle by yourself, you can handle. Then those documents which you need any translation, I'm available to do that.
Okay, thank you. That's all from my side, unless there's any question from that side.
I want to confirm. Okay, go ahead, Tadesse.
No, Andre, thank you. Mine also the same to Samsung, because we are doing together with this to ask and support Nabiyu to send you. We are checking some documents are either it is completed or incomplete document he has to send and you receive. Then after, if you want to clarification of this, we are waiting some clarification questions on your email, but I'm not getting yet. So we are in my side. It is my clarities. You have gotten some amount of document which you help to support the document, either it is complete or not. I'm approving that she got some documents and no need of other clarification. That is what I'm conclude in my side.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Maybe two things. As Kate said, the official communication for the AFAS network, from what I know, it's English and French mainly. Isn't it possible to ask the accountant in Ethiopia to write, to have all the documents in English, because that will add lot of work and to the secretariat if let's say also the Portuguese people, they start writing in Portuguese, if Arabic people start writing Arabic, that will add too much workload. Maybe we should think of having something more workable. Isn't that possible, Tadesse?
What?
Andre, I think that's not possible. I think we need to follow the host institution financial regulation. What's important is whenever AFAS needs any explanation, that is the responsibility of the finance unit and also
Yeah.
professor and myself to provide that information in English. Otherwise, it is the country's law and also the rule of the organization. So what's important is they are reporting in English, the supporting documents are in local language. So as I said, I'm available to do the translation in terms of description of what is all about that document. I think that is what we have been doing that.
Oh, Samson, what we are also requesting, in a receipt, somebody can just write there, if like they bought stationery, you can just write on the top of the receipt, stationery,
yes.
airtime,
Yes.
allowances,
Exactly.
because we know that that accountant knows English.
Okay, I
So
think that
I can
that
just
one
write
is
there to guide us.
that is possible. They can
Yes.
write that description on top of the receipt, and also similarly also in the transaction list. If they give a number, the code, then they have to write. I mean, I think that is what they are going to do. That not when they submit the transaction, they have to give it a code, and they have to explain, they write a description about that code. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I think if they
Okay.
have not done that, Tadessa, please be informed and please give this feedback to them, because I'm seeing the documents they wrote just AFAS, AFAS, AFAS. So in addition, they can still write simple description. If it is per dime, they can write per dime. If it is transport, transport, airtime, or whatever, or
Okay.
lunch or refreshment, whatever in English.
Okay. I'll do it that.
I'm saying what I was saying because the problem will not be only at AFAS level. Imagine what will happen if EU or IFAD comes for an audit. Then you, Samsung, will be disturbed again. They will call you,
No,
okay, come to translate for us.
no, I mean, don't forget that there are also Ethiopians who are working at EU. When they are coming for audit, the finance people, they will explain. I think that's not only unique for AFAS. These guys, they are handling in millions, my friend. They have that experience. That will not be a problem.
Okay, let's hope. So can we, yeah, just to summarize that part of lessons learning. So there's some weak communication, if we can call that, internally at ADPLAC and AER, but also between ADPLAC and AFAS that needs to be improved a little bit. So faster, quick back and and straightforward feedback also, speedy and straightforward feedback from AFAS because countries can wait for long and don't know exactly what's the status of their report and what they have to resubmit or whatever. And also the countries, when you don't receive feedback, don't hesitate to send some reminders. I know there are some countries like Mali who sends reminders every week. Maybe it's good because people at the secretariat, they are handling too many things. So your mail can be lost somewhere sometimes. Instead of just waiting, send a reminder at least weekly if you don't have feedback, I think. Yeah, let's move to the next one. If you think it's worth to discuss about about does ADPLAC have a strategic plan and the country for, or are you using the ministry's strategic plan? So can we know a little bit about what are the components of your strategic plan? What are you doing exactly? What are your focus areas in your strategic plan, and what you intend to do for 2021? Maybe it's early, very early to discuss about that, but this is in the agenda, so we can have a quick overview maybe in 15 or 20 minutes maximum. So Tadesse
Yes.
or Andualem, do you have
Mm,
a strategic plan for ADPLAC?
okay. As Samson said previous, in Ethiopia, ADPLAC is not only working. It works with an extension directorate under extension directorate. Extension directorates are a department of agricultural development sectors. The umbrella is the one head of agricultural development sectors. It is under agricultural development sectors. Agricultural extension is there under ADP, and ADPLAC is under agricultural extension sectors. Department directorate. ADPLAC is under within extension directorate, so that concerning strategic plan, this included in extension directorate. Extension directorate is included in agricultural development plan. So it is around that within head of agricultural extension, the same strategic plan is there.
Okay. So you know that AFAS has also a strategic plan and focusing
Yeah.
on different areas like capacity building, on knowledge management, policy advocacy. Which area do you identify as synergy between ADPLAC and
AFAS.
AFAS? And because we can't, when you work with a partner like AFAS, you have to work in the same areas and put synergy. So in which
Now,
area exactly you are expecting collaboration or eventually support, mutual support from AFAS?
knowledge management is our target area to work with.
Mm-hmm. What else is only
Now,
knowledge management? What
Here,
about capacity building? What about resource
let me come
mobilization,
in.
advocacy, and so on?
Wow.
okay.
Let me come here. You know, Ethiopia is in the process of developing a 10 years roadmap, extension roadmap, where the
Mm-hmm.
issue of different partnership and pluralistic extension is also part of the broader extension roadmap. And also the country is in the process of revising the extension policy toward this pluralistic extension. Again, as I said 2 weeks ago, we had a national policy dialogue. Some of the issues or some of the pillars, they have identified 9 or 10 pillars. So these
Mm-hmm.
9 or 10 pillars are really aligned with what AFAS is also doing. Some of
Mm-hmm.
the pillars focusing on capacity development, policy and foresight, and also knowledge management toward this comprehensive mail system, and also pluralistic extension system, how especially engaging the private sectors in extension, and also ICT moving towards ICT or digitalization of extension system, and also environmental and climate smart agriculture are also the focus, and also the technology generation, testing and dissemination and scaling up under the mandate zonation. These are some of the focus areas of the broader extension roadmap, where ADPLAC is also part or an integral part of the broader um, extension roadmap. Again, I think this extension roadmap, there was a dialogue and many stakeholders who came from different value chain actors, including the policymakers. They had a discussion for 2 days, and they have provided inputs. I think the technical working committee members, they are working on it, and they are expected to finalize, incorporate those comments, and present the final version for policymakers endorsement. I think that is where the stage they are. And definitely, AFAS also has been acknowledged, the support that ADPLAC has been received in terms of revising the extension policy and developing the roadmap. So I think that's perfectly aligned what AFAS is doing. That's what I want to add.
Yeah, from what you listed, Samsung, it seems there's no real focus area. You are focusing on everything in
Yeah, I'm just explaining
yeah,
the pillars of the
yeah,
extension roadmap. So that means when you look at the pillars of the extension roadmap, so the roadmap is even broader, and the focus
yeah,
of AFAS is even very narrow. So
hmm,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to say is all those focus areas of AFAS are already part and integral part of the broader extension roadmap of
hmm,
Ethiopia. That's what
okay,
I was trying to explain.
yeah. Now, one very important thing that you have to consider when implementing something with one partner is your your areas of intervention of activities can be broader, but that does mean that when you receive resource from one partner and the focus of that partner is maybe, let's say, CSA, climate smart agriculture. That is one focus area with the CADEPEX before. Then you have really to work on CSA to see all the available uh, resource and information knowledge that is available on CSA from your side, and provide um, provide some content, some synergy with the partner. Because why I'm saying this is because I noticed that I know Ethiopia is very strong in climate mitigation and climate adaptation and so on. I saw many documentary from Ethiopia on that, but I haven't seen report from Ethiopia on the CIC exercise, for instance, which is which for me means that you are too focused on maybe too broad or different topics, and you don't focus enough on the AFAS continental agenda also. So be aware of that, that there are some focus area that will be brought by AFAS, and when you work with the AFAS, with the AFAS resource, you have to be accountable and based on the agreement that is signed, and the sub grant that is signed between you and the country and the continental body. So for the next exercise for 2021, especially for in my area of knowledge management and ICTs, I would really insist on that. That yes, we can always um, um, extend our activities and envisage additional activities with available resource, but we have to prioritize those that are also in our work plan, because if we don't deliver on that, of course, end of the year we don't know what to write in our reports to the funders, and that's not a good thing for the future of the organization if you're not accountable to your funders also.
I think now Andualan is on board. As I said, unfortunately, Amsal was left in the middle of the implementation, and a lot has been uh, happening in Ethiopia in terms of climate smart agriculture, conservation agriculture, agriculture risk management, and so on. Unfortunately, these were not reported. So I was telling this also to Tadessa, and also we had a brief chat with Andualam. So I think that's also our challenge most of the time here in Ethiopia. We do a lot of activities, but unfortunately, we report very limited reporting. So I think this has to be improved. And Andualam, this is again as a CIKM facilitator in providing support in that area. So you are aware that a lot are happening in Ethiopia, so especially under ADPLAC and extension. I think we have to report that in our next meeting, and also we should not wait also the reporting. We can share our experience through the WhatsApp
Yeah.
group. We can share for others as well. And also, we should not wait the quarterly report. We need to write the report after the end of the event. For instance, for the national policy dialogue, I think that's also should be reported. I think that's again a challenge and a weakness which ADPLAC should improve.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Amsalu, he has done some quite good job at some point, because he always provided some articles for the newsletter, and then at some point he was totally absent. I was not even aware that he's not there anymore. I, I thought he's still there with the country, the leadership of the country.
Yanena, she wrote you email. Yanena, she wrote email to
No, she
you.
wrote that Andualem is joining, but she didn't say that Amsalu is not there anymore,
Okay,
which is different. I
maybe.
thought you are hiring more people now to
Okay,
championing. Uh-huh.
okay.
Ah,
Now be
he not
aware.
right for us also. He's leaving the ministry after we know after he leaving after 2 weeks ago because I myself also don't know how he's leaving this.
So you say you see Samsung. Okay, no,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
What
very
I'm
good
saying
that
is,
Andualem is there, because Andualem was with us since 2019, so he knows how things work, and he's also very techy. What I'm expecting, already, Andualem, if you can write some stories, because we have a monthly newsletter,
Yeah.
and from December to March, we haven't got any newsletter because there was no no motivation from the CIKM to write something. But I
okay.
think we should restart now. So if you can just write 500 to 700 words
Okay.
on what you are doing at ADPLAC, or the innovation that are happening there. You're talking about the government distributing tablets, or any new approach that you are or the database of extension workers that you are building, or whatever that is new and can
Okay.
inspire. and the others, or inform others. It's always good to have that on the newsletter, on the coming newsletter. So yeah, please, and we can discuss about that more after this meeting. But I will really encourage that you provide more visibility on Ethiopia now, because ADPLAC ADPLAC should be one of the strongest country fora, with the support of so many founders there.
Mm.
I don't know why is ADPLAC too silent.
Okay, yeah. In my understanding, I think there is some communication gaps. So
Yes.
let me ask my friends, and we'll talk them, and
Mhm.
we can provide the newsletter if the events already happened. So I think I can do that. The other thing is, uh, in my view, we have to improve the knowledge management platforms by creating different contents and by adding the documents. So we'll start collecting new documents and upload on the AdBlack knowledge management website. The other thing is we can also assess some technical skill gaps, and we'll also prepare trainings and provide for extension stuff. So in the technical part, I think we'll have two things. One is to improve the knowledge management platform, and
Mhm.
the other thing to provide technical trainings. So I hope we'll do better, right?
That's perfect.
Uh,
Perfect. Very structured approach. Paddy is there also. I don't know if Paddy has something to say vis-a-vis of the AdPlac team before we end this meeting.
Hello, Andre. I think Dr. Samson is disconnected because of the electricity.
Oh, you
So
live
Okay.
in the
we
same
can
area,
proceed.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Andre. This event is what I'm saying previous because it needs solution for us connect concerning internet because AFAS have to provide us some podium or CDMA because of this. This is what we are facing during meeting. So it needs some solution on how we can join safely.
Hmm.
Nah,
Well, that is
it,
another big challenge
yes,
to
Andre, it
this.
is better to include in our plan for next time.
Okay, I'm taking note. I'm taking note.
Okay.
And, I don't know. Paddy is there. Tell me,
Okay.
Paddy, is there any possibility to include
Yeah.
in the country for a work plan some material,
Yeah.
connection material, for instance,
Yeah. Okay.
because this is what we are in the times of COVID. It's a very
Uh,
different time. In the past,
yes.
you pay transport to go in a meeting area and to gather and so on to office.
Yeah.
Now you don't pay for transport anymore, but there is the internet fees that runs. There's communication fees, and there's materials that come with that. So I don't know what is the feasibility of reaffecting some financial resource and to this kind of expenditure. Maybe Kate and Paddy can intervene
Okay.
here.
Okay. If this is an issue, I have some issues what you are concluded concerning our thematic areas, as Samson clarified very nicely. But
Hmm.
uh, we are we have some gaps on communication, as Andoalem said. It
Hmm.
is better to strengthen this communication for the next. Concerning a newsletter, monthly newsletter, we are discussing with Andolim yesterday because of we have many things, events which
Good.
is happened in policy, dialogue, CSA, and resource mobilization with other stakeholders. We have this all activities, events are happened within this March or months. So we can conclude this and improve it for the next newsletter. We are maybe I think we are very strength groups.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you for the promise.
yeah,
So expecting some good stories from you. Not very long story,
yeah,
but
yeah,
regular. We need
yeah.
just
Okay,
regularity. Not very long, but something true, something genuine, and with photos if possible. Okay.
okay.
So if there's no other additional intervention anymore, maybe we can close this meeting then. And thank you very much, Tadesse and Dualem. Um, try to finish your reportings and clear your accounts as soon as possible because we want to start the new activities. So and we can't start that unless you already finalize the previous one.
Okay.
So thank you so much, and
Thank you.
have a nice day.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you, Andre.